I gotta admit this one, man. I love this dude, Law. Holy shit! I'm officially gonna start looking for Law One Piece figures, man. I like this dude. Like, I want like a Law statue. I don't know if they made any of those yet, but Law came up with the awesome plan. Like I was thinking, holy shit, he allowed himself to get caught. Like I was in Smoker's camp. I'm thinking if you are stupid enough to get yourself caught, you deserve to die. Man, fuck that shit. Law was just sitting up there slinking and slithering around and replaced all the sea prism shackles with just regular shackles and said, okay, yeah, fuck this. Like, I'm going to go along with this. That way, as soon as they turn a blind eye and I can create a diversion, I'm getting the fuck out of here. And Law right away says, can any of you guys make fire? Franky's like, yeah, if I had my hands, but yeah, oh, I could do the coop the boom out my ass. Like, that is like this dude eating some crazy shit to be shooting out flame farts like that. Like Oda is a dirty motherfucker, yo. But like, this is what's crazy. This is what's crazy. The smoke just starts coming up, and you're thinking, how the fuck did he do this? All of a sudden, Law's out the shackles. And you're like, what happened? And I love characters like this who just have the plan for the plan before the actual plan takes place. It's just like Law had every stone left uncovered. And what I really love about this is how he tells Luffy, like, okay, don't fuck this one up. Like, don't fuck this up. And it's just like, that's like having a super immature kid with a big red button that's going to launch all of the nuclear weapons all over the world, and you say, don't press this button. He's going to press the button. She's going to press the button. Like, it's going to happen. So it's just like, you don't tell Luffy to not fuck something up, because he's going to fuck it up. And this is what's crazy. Like, the rest of the Straw Hats are just as bad, because at the end of the chapter, you see Zoro, after they get the gates and everything, Zoro's just like, hey, you, swordsman, cut that iron down. This is like, everyone's like, oh, the smoke's coming in. Luffy's like, yeah, seems like an adventure's happening. The rest of the crew's here. Let's just raise some hell. And it's just like, somewhere Law is probably beating his head against the wall like, oh my fucking god, what did I get myself into? And this is a good segue into just the fact that Law is making an alliance with the number one most unpredictable member of the supernovas, right? Because while this is going on, you got Kid, while he's watching everything, Kid, as soon as he sees Law and Luffy together, he's like, okay, so Straw Hat's back active. Law is over there with them. Yeah, they're up to something. Fuck this. We're leaving. And you find out that Kid is essentially forming an alliance with other pirates on the New World. So it's just like, Oda, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing here. Marineford was just a taste. There's a war brewing. There's a war brewing right now. A real war. Like, Marineford was really quick, had some crazy shit, but Luffy was clearly out of place. Now, like, we're in that shit now. We're in that shit. And Luffy, you're probably gonna have to see something where the emperors are being kind of, knocked down. So what's gonna end up happening is, like, your Big Mom, she's got to go. Kaido, he's got to go. You're gonna have to have Shanks, who has beef with Blackbeard. Those would be the final two emperors. They probably take themselves out, or end up being polarizing figures where the new world is kind of split. You have the world government. You have what's going on with Luffy's father trying to overthrow the fucking government with the whole revolution and the whole thing, the blank period, and with Nico Robin being the segue, and Nami having the VV paper and everything. Like, Oda's got the web going, and you see the supernovas breaking up into alliances. You see the pirates kind of forming alliances. You're either going to be on Shank's side, or you're going to be on Blackbeard's side, or you're going to be on the revolutionary side. Like, it's gonna break down. And if you just stick the world government there, the new world is still broken up into 4 factions. But what's going to be really key about this is, again, it's going to come down to one of the two sides. So it's like this is Oda setting the drum beats for war. Like a lot of people, they focus on like the battles and everything, but what they don't pay attention to is a lot of wars. This is real life. A lot of wars don't start when the missile drops. It's the passive aggressive stuff done years, sometimes even a decade before the first fighting is even exchanged. This is what Oda's doing because he writes with such a slow pace. We might not see this shit for like 600 chapters, 700 chapters, but which be insane because that'd be like chapter 1400. But that's the way Oda does things. So I like what you get here when you get that moment where you see it and you have again just the theme hammered into your head. They're like, yeah, pirate alliances are really fucking shaky. They can crumble in an instant. Okay, and while this is going on, you got Brownbeard attempting to get Usopp and them out, and I like the funny thing, right? I like the very funny thing where Zoro is just looking at Sanji, says, "What the fuck kind of power is this?" Because Sanji's like, "Oh shit, I can't do it. I can't do it." Nami's body. I'm thinking, okay, we're seeing some real ramifications. Sanji got the power of perversion. I said I wasn't going to laugh when I said that, right? Like I said I was not going to laugh when I said that. Sanji got the power of perversion. He's just like, oh, yeah, I'm about to give out. He just gives Nami's boobs a big squeeze, and all of a sudden my dude is just running leaps and bounds in front of everybody else, man. I don't think I've told this story before, but, you know, like with my family owns like a lot of land. Like my granddad had 15 acres worth of land, right? 15 acres worth of land, and it ends up getting broken up into the two parts of the family, right? It ends up getting broken up into his sister and her descendants, and my granddad and his descendants, and so that land gets broken in, but you know, like it's all in the same track, and my grandmom and my mom's house is essentially like the gatekeeper for all that shit. And so, like, the other family has, like, bulls and all types of shit back there because my granddad used to farm and shit, right? And so, I remember I was, like, real young. And, you know, I'm going with one of my, I think it was my sister and my sister's, yeah, my sister's friend. We go back there and, you know, I got on, I forgot what the fuck I had on. But, you know, we're out there and there's, like, a little pond and everything, a little lake, and, there's a hill, and next thing I know, we're being chased by a fucking bull. And, like, we're just running ass, running. And I'm small as hell at this point, so, like, my sister has to actually pick me up, right? Because I'm starting to fall behind, just like Sanji was. Well, you know, one of the girls who was with us is really heavy set, right? And looking back on it, I'm thinking, how the fuck did she pull this shit off, right? But, you know, like, she probably ran a day in her life. Like, my sister used to do, like, the cheerleading shit and, like, the tumbling shit like my mom. So, like, she was in, you know, pretty relatively good shape, right? And the fat chick is just outrunning everybody. She's just gunning, like, da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, there's a barbed wire fence. Like, she done hopped over the fucking post and everything, right? Like, the shit got so fucking nuts. Like, my sister had to throw my ass over the fucking fence and hop over, and then she had to like do the little wires and shit. Like, we just barely got the fuck out of there. Like, but like I said all that to say, like, I saw that scene with Sanji and I laughed my ass off because it's just like, I guess with this one, you know, she was like, yeah, should I say this shit? Fuck it, I'm unfiltered right now. Like, this bitch was like, yeah, I've probably not had a hamburger yet. I'm gonna run my ass off. Like, Sanji's just like, yeah, I've never really squeezed Nami's boobs. Well, yes, I have, but fuck it. I'm going to squeeze them again. And my dude just took off running, man. This was hilarious. Again, that's Oda's perversion, but it works. It works. And I kept saying, like, the humor, like, Oda, like, this is some dark shit. It's just getting darker and darker, heavier and heavier. When's the humor coming? We got it in this chapter. Luffy, like, oh shit, yeah, let's raise some hell. Sanji, power of perversion. Zoro, like, yeah, cut that iron. Cut that shit. Everybody's freaking out over the gas. And I want to end the review just talking about this, okay? I like how one of the things Law says is Law looks at Smoker, and I like that exchange between Smoker and Tashigi. I like both of the exchanges. I'm going to talk about those in a second. But what I liked about Smoker and Law and that whole dynamic is when Law is looking at him, he says, "You know a lot about me and the inner workings. You keep your mouth shut. This is a fucking demand. You keep your mouth shut. You don't tell anybody about what's going on with me and Joker. You say nothing. The other thing is your life is on a whim right now. I could kill you. I could give you your bodies back." That's what he ends up doing. And what I like about this is, I said in the last chapter, Tashigi had to come out of this shit changed. She couldn't be the same person. She fucking swallows her pride and she's begging. And the reason why she's begging is she understands in her position of authority and the way that her men look up to her, there's no way in hell that she can allow those people to die, because that's something that would fuck her up mentally. Just like how Sengoku left the fuck out the Navy, how Garp left the fuck out the Navy. That's something that would happen to her if she would have to experience something like that. So I like the fact that she was basically swallowing her pride in order to beg for the lives of her men. That's essentially what she's doing. And so I thought that that was pretty interesting. And I'll say this, right? Like when the panels and everything, when you're reading it right to left, I'm going like, oh man, Smoker has no fucking chill. He's got Tashigi's legs all the way open. And as soon as you see the color on the cheeks, you say, oh shit, Smoker's back in his body, Tashigi's back in her body. And sure enough, she's covering up. She's ashamed because Smoker's got everything kind of hanging out, and she's shooting the dirty looks and everything. But I like how when they have the bickering back and forth, and you know, hey, look, like at the risk of sounding somewhat sexist, I mean, like, hey, like when women start, you know, knick-knacking and everything, it's just like, oh fuck, what did I do now? And it's just like, on one hand, like if you really like her, you just kind of listen to it, you put up with it. She might be saying some shit that applies to you. Sometimes she's just talking to get some shit off her chest or whatnot. But at the end of the day, like, you're just like, holy fuck. And you could tell that's the route that Smoker was taking. At the same time, he's getting annoyed, and Tashigi was speaking straight facts. She's like, look, you're damn right. I have no pride right now. If it means saving our men, I'll beg. I'll do whatever he asks of me to do. And you just see the divide. And I think in that moment, Tashigi, if this was a Star Wars reference, Tashigi would be the one who had the high ground at this point, because she was absolutely right. She was absolutely right. She made the right call, and she showed more emotional maturity, because Smoker is somebody who's so fucking prideful. That's probably going to be his downfall. It's probably going to be his downfall. And the reason why I say that is, look at the way when Tashigi and Smoker are kind of having their moment of clarity. Like, Tashigi just gets the sword out and she's just like, okay, fuck it, I gotta fight with the pirates. It is what it is, right? And I hope we see Tashigi and Zoro fighting back to back, and you got like the guy from Wano and Brook there, just to see all the swordsmen all in one team fighting would be completely awesome to see. But she's ready to go. Smoker, yes, technically he's ready to go, but at the same time, he's just like, I cannot believe I have stooped to the level where I actually have to help pirates. You can tell it is eating him alive, and yet at the same time, that's a reality check that his character needed. And that's how Oda is just showing us yet again, things are not black and white. There are shades of gray with everything. You have to pay attention to these small things. Like, this is a beautiful chapter. This is a beautiful chapter. The New World, I did not expect this much chaos. And yet, looking in hindsight, all the fucking foreshadowing is there. When you got the whole thing of saying, like, yeah, this is the bloodiest generation. When this generation of supernovas gets to a new world, there's going to be bloodshed. We're seeing alliances being formed. We're seeing the foreshadowings for war. We're seeing Luffy and one of his rivals working together. We see Luffy working with a guy from the Navy. Somebody he was just swapping blows with not too long ago on the timeline at Marineford. This is, Oda is just weaving a beautiful web right now. So that's it for this chapter review, guys. If you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Have a